Next up we have Joel. Joel is a member of the Providence DSA. He's a labor organizer, and he's an amazing human being who cares about Palestinians and has for years. Thank you, Joel.
Thanks, Amy. So again, my name is Joel Reinstein. I'm with the Providence DSA. Have y'all ever seen a Palestine protest in Providence this big?
No.
This is incredible. I want to take a page out of Indira's book. Start us with a chant. I want them to hear us in Jack Reed's office across the river. I want them to hear us in Brown's admin building, where they said that their endowment will not be used for political purposes when students voted to divest. It's just a call and response. You can repeat after me. It's real simple. It goes, free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
Long live the Intifada!
Long live the Intifada!
Intifada, Intifada!
Intifada, Intifada!
Thank you. I'm pulling up my speech real quick here. We've all watched in horror as Israel escalates its ethnic cleansing in Palestine, from Sheikh Jarrah to the Gaza Strip to the territories occupied in 1948, because that's what they're called. Yeah. We've watched as the cowards who call themselves our leaders justify these crimes. They ludicrously say that Israel is defending itself as it pummels Gaza with airstrikes, one of which Malika mentioned killed 10 members of the Abu Tahtab family, of whom 8 were children. One infant survivor was pulled from the rubble. We're supposed to accept that this massacre is Israel defending itself because Palestinian fighters in the besieged Gaza Strip, where Israel murdered over 100 protesters in 2018, fired rockets back? Palestinians do not need anyone's permission to resist their annihilation.
Yes.
And Palestinians are resisting all across Palestine. When Palestinians in Sheikh Jarrah forced Israel with all its tanks and guns to back off its expulsions of hundreds of people, they dealt Israel a humiliating defeat. And that's why the Zionists are retaliating now with such genocidal fury. But in spite of this retaliation, Palestinians continue to resist. Palestinians with Israeli citizenship in cities like Haifa, Al-Lid, and Nazareth are protesting to support Palestinians in Jerusalem. Even as Zionist police lead lynch mobs to attack them in their homes. Palestinians in the West Bank are standing up for Gaza, even as soldiers and settlers have killed, as of the time I wrote this, 11 West Bank protesters. Thousands of people across Palestine are putting their bodies on the line for each other's freedom. The world owes Palestinians what they give to each other. We are all called upon to take action now, especially while our government gives $3.8 billion every year to Israel for weapons. And whenever the U.S. spreads that kind of death and destruction overseas, those chickens always come home to roost, as Malcolm X put it. Before the U.S. put kids in cages, Israel was doing that to Palestinian children and prosecuting them in military courts, which it still does. Israeli tech developed in their endless military occupation is now being used to enforce the U.S.-Mexico border. U.S. police departments, as has been mentioned, go on trips to Israel to learn from the occupation how to better surveil and control oppressed populations. The cops here are already racist and violent. We don't need them learning how to be better at it in Israel. Here in Providence, the police have access to phone hacking tech developed by the Israeli company Celebrite. If they want to know what's on an arrested protester's phone, Israeli ingenuity can help them find out. The growing threat of surveillance and police violence worldwide is why it's often said that Palestine's present is the world's future. So let Palestine's resistance also be our future.
That's right.
As Palestinians across their entire country fight back against ethnic cleansing and apartheid, let's send them a message here that they're not alone. This protest is being recorded. Let's send a message that they hear in Gaza, that they hear in the 48 territories, that they hear in the West Bank, including East Jerusalem. Let's show them that they aren't fighting alone. Show them that we will not sit idly by while they fight for their freedom. We will not turn our backs on them. We will not look away. Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
Long live the Intifada!
Long live the Intifada!
Intifada, Intifada!
Intifada,
Thank you.